We're here in uncharacteristically sunny and a little bit blustery Brighton to bring you Sony's latest telephoto zoom, the 50-150 f2 G Master. Let's go find out what it's all about. So something that really must be said is how excited I was about hearing about this lens. 50-150 f2 is incredibly exciting, mainly because you don't really hear that often of f2 zooms. A few have begun to crop up. Obviously we have the Sony 28-70 f2, but at the telephoto end, it is actually quite unusual. It would probably really shine in photography types like events and weddings and just general photography as well. Just think of all the things that you might use a telephoto for. Obviously today we can't really shoot a wedding. We're in the street here in Brighton. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to focus on environmental portraits. So we're going to just grab people here in the streets and to see how this lens performs and what this focal range as well as the aperture can actually offer us. So let's talk a little bit about the construction of this lens, mainly about what you can see and also how it feels in hand. So I'm not going to lie to you, I wouldn't call this a light lens in the same way that a 50mm 1.8 would be light, but considering what it is very, very light. Let's not forget that this is a 50mm to 150 f2 lens. So in terms of weight, it comes in at 1,340 grams, and that makes it slightly heavier than the new 70-200 f2.8 Mark II, or 2 should I say, but actually lighter than the original 70-200. So it's very, very impressive that with new construction methods, Sony have actually been able to make this lens as light as it is. So for me, a 70-200 is pretty much all telephoto. Obviously short telephoto at 70 and longer telephoto 200. For me, 50 is actually normal. For me, it's a normal focal length and it's a lens that I actually use a lot for my personal work. So I think the range that it offers here is more akin to things like portraiture and events where you actually need something a little bit more useful when you don't have your 24-70 or a 35 or 50 to hand. I think this is a lot more useful. So then when you team that with the f2 aperture, I think not only does it give you extra depth for your portraits, some might think that it's actually not really that noticeable, but I think it's still extra. More importantly, it gives you an extra light. So if you're shooting events without flash, for example, or weddings, it's going to give you that extra stop of light rather than having to actually lower your shutter speed or actually push your ISO beyond the limits of the camera. So we're here in the aptly named Trafalgar Square, and we're going to talk a little bit about the construction of this lens. So what's really important is to talk about kind of why you would buy this lens. And I'm not going to lie, one of the reasons why you are going to buy this lens is that f2 aperture. And obviously that you might think will create some problems in terms of what your images would look like, namely shooting fully open with a zoom lens of this length. However, the construction of this lens is really, really advanced, as are most, or if not all, Sony lenses that have come out in the last kind of 18 months or so. So you get 19 elements in 17 groups. And obviously those elements are just glass elements that are helping kind of focus this lens across the zoom range. However, of those elements, you get 2 super ED elements. So that's kind of anti-low dispersion elements. Then you also get 2 super aspherical elements and 2 aspherical elements. Now, those aspherical elements are actually help kind of fighting aspherical aberrations, and the ED glass is actually helping fight chromatic aberrations. So even if you do shoot at f2, you know the lens is doing everything in its power to try and control those aberrations and that fringing that happens kind of around the edges of the focused and defocused areas. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how the 50-150 would actually work for video. Now, as is true with a lot of lenses that have come out from Sony that are zooms recently, they have these linear motors, and the linear motors are very, very good at actually focusing very, very quickly. And obviously this has been developed to actually work with incredibly fast focusing cameras like the A9 III, but obviously that works for video as well. However, one of the biggest bugbears I think for a lot of people will be the quite massive 95mm filter thread. So good luck in getting specialist filters like mist filters, for example, or even star filters for kind of getting particular looks. I think you might be okay with UV polarizers as well as NDs, but for everything else, you might struggle a little bit. Now, in terms of actual video functionality, one of the things that Sony is doing a lot towards the new lenses is actually reducing focus breathing, and actually testing this at 50mm as well as 150, I actually found it incredibly impressive as to how well it suppresses focus breathing. So let's talk about some of the things that I've clearly forgotten to say earlier on, so it's a bit jumbled here, but let's just start with minimum focusing, which obviously is quite a big deal for a lot of people. I was incredibly impressed to find that at 50mm, this one will focus as close as 0.4 meters, which is incredibly close for a zoom lens. And at 150, it's not actually much different. It'll focus to 0.74 meters, so 70 centimeters effectively, which again is incredibly impressive, especially when you make that to the f2 aperture. Just you can blow out those backgrounds absolutely beautifully, which also brings me to the bokeh in this. Now, obviously with bokeh, you would traditionally kind of use that when it's when you have bright light sources in the background, but even today there's the kind of bits of white in the backgrounds of some of the portraits that I've taken that you can see how that bokeh is entirely circular, and that's thanks to the 11 bladed aperture that we have within this. So no onion ring bokeh in this, it's completely circular and beautiful as well. So how do I feel after a full day shooting with the 50-150 f2? Well, from a construction point of view, it is fantastic. I think anyone expecting to have classic Sony G Master quality, that's exactly what they're going to get. It is beautifully made and it is incredibly robust, as you might expect. In terms of what it can do, it is phenomenal. Obviously today, I think I've shot the majority of my images at f2 when I'm shooting portraits, and it's been absolutely fantastic, especially mated to a camera like the Sony a7R5. It just simply does not miss focus and it goes straight for the eye, so you know that you're always going to nail focus. So from that point of view, it's fantastic. In terms of construction, it's also dust and moisture resistance. So in case you do take it to fairly inhospitable places, you know the lens will have your back. So what makes this lens truly unique is that f2 aperture. And that combined with this unique focal length is really what's going to be the deciding factor as to whether or not this will be good for your photography or for your videography. And let's not forget that the perfect mate to this lens is Sony's 28-70 f2. And both of these kind of offer the flexibility of zooms, but with a depth of field of primes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.